Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria aimed at Drake is a diss track for the ages, and honestly, one of the most mature responses I've ever heard. Real ones, get in here and let me know what y'all think. He made us wait, but I think he 100% delivered. One of my main takeaways is that this song immediately hit streaming services, so we know it's not AI. And second, when the song started, I didn't even think it was a proper response. Now, it's been rumored that Kendrick Lamar was dropping an album in May, so I thought it was just necessarily another track of his because it starts really slow. Immediately when you listen to the lyrics, you realize, oh no, he's headed straight for Aubrey. Like, check this bar here. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with hopes of being accepted. Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but FUBU never been in your collection. These lines essentially feel like the crux of everyone's disses against Drake, that he's cosplaying as this mafioso type rapper when he's really not that. It's why Metro Boomin laced We Don't Trust You with that legendary Prodigy interview where he's talking about fake rappers. Or even why Rick Ross is calling Drake white, which honestly I don't really fuck with, and Kendrick does it too, and I feel like especially Kendrick should be well read enough to know that being biracial means you are also black. But we'll get to that later in the video. Basically, everyone is going at Drake's character. It's almost as if Drake double-crossed enough people and finally they were like, nah, we're not having it anymore. Like, check this bar out right here. Have you ever walked an enemy down with a poker face? Have you ever paid 500,000 like to an open case? Basically saying, Drake, you have never done any of the street shit that you rap about. And Kendrick Lamar has been alluding for years that he has survivor's guilt to stuff that happened in his teens, whilst Drake was an actor on an incredibly popular show. Like, look, there's even more survivor's guilt from Kendrick Lamar in these bars right here. The very first time I shot me at Drake, the homie had told me aim it this way. I didn't point down enough. Today I show you I learned from those mistakes. Now this is a double entendre. Shot at Drake, basically saying Kendrick confirms that he has been taking sneak disses at Drake and also receiving them back his way. But it's also saying that I've actually shot guns. I've actually had people teach me how to shoot guns. I've actually been in the streets. And saying that Drake, you haven't. And that line of critique, saying that Drake is effectively cosplaying as a street nigga, I fuck with. The saying that whether he's black or not, I don't. Or check out these other bars here where Kendrick Lamar effectively responds to Drake using Tupac as AI. He says, somebody had told me you got a ring. On God, I'm ready to double the wage. I'd rather do that than let a Canadian nigga make Pac turn in his grave. Now this is pointing to the fact that Drake spent about $1 million on Tupac's ring at Sotheby's, and apparently it was the last ring that Tupac was seen wearing at a public appearance. Also yelling at all the Drake fans that thought the AI shit was fire, it was cheap, it was low, and honestly AI is theft. There, I said it. And next, J. Cole gets his shot. Now J. Cole deleted 7-Minute Drill, but Kendrick eventually says that I see the two of y'all niggas hugging and kissing on stage, but if both of y'all aren't my real friends, I'ma turn into YNW Melly. Kendrick also points out that Drake going at Pharrell was stupid, like he was almost like punching down for a way. He has this bar right here. I don't like you popping shit at Pharrell. For him, I inherit the beef. Yeah, fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. You better off spinning again on him. You think about pushing me? He's Terrence Thornton. I'm Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I'm whooping feet. Again. And then he continues to go on it right here. We ain't gotta get personal. This a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. I know some shit about niggas that make Gunna wanna look like a saint. Now this took me a second to get, but B-Dot broke it down to me on our live earlier. But basically Kendrick is saying that if he says the shit that he knows about him, he's going to make Gunna look like a saint. Basically calling Gunna a snitch. I don't want to speak on that because I'm not a street nigga. But if you are a street nigga and you feel like Gunna snitched, you are totally allowed to feel like that. But for everybody, the only street shit they've done has been told on and got detention in school. I really don't think it's on us to speak about. He then goes on about just hating Drake in general. But like I said, it always goes to a particular point. It's about hating who Drake pretends to be. Like right here. How many more fairy tale stories about your life till we had enough? How many more black features till you finally feel you black enough? I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he act tough. Now the black enough bit, we're treading on rough territory. Like, I feel like it's totally fair to critique Drake's own insecurity about his blackness. I feel like in rap beef, you know, people cross the line, and I feel like that's one thing that is totally fine. But when it comes to whether or not Drake can say nigga, when it's questioning his race as a black man, I feel like that is the issue. And in here, I feel like it's critiquing his blackness. Now, this is nuance. A lot of y'all don't like nuance. A lot of y'all can't understand nuance. But here, I'm here for the critical thinkers, the real ones that are critical thinkers, and y'all will understand what I'm talking about. And Drake has been up in that tough talk for a couple of years now. And as one nigga from the suburbs, we could spot another nigga from the suburbs from a mile away. Or this bar right here. Yeah, my first one like my last one, it's a classic. You don't have one. Let your core audience stomach that. Then tell them where you got your abs from. Now, another BBL Drizzy line, which is 100% fair, but Drake does have a classic. It's called Take Care. I'm not necessarily his core audience, but I'm not fighting about that. Like, chat, let me know what y'all think, but I think Take Care is a classic. And then it gets to the point where I was talking about earlier, denying the fact that Drake is a black man, like right here. I even hate when you say the word nigga, but that's just me, I guess. Some shit just cringeworthy. It ain't even gotta be deep, I guess. And oh my god, this has me agreeing with Suge Knight, but let's stop questioning whether or not Drake is black. We can criticize his insecurity about him being black, doing things to be quote unquote considered blacker, but saying that Drake isn't black like Rick Ross did is just fucking stupid. And from here on out is where I think this diss track ends up in the history of one of the greatest diss tracks of all time. And I know I'm being hyperbolic, but trust me, I think it is. He says right here, I know they call you the boy, but where is a man? Cause I ain't seen him yet. Matter of fact, I ain't even bleed him yet. Can I bleed him? Bet. Kendrick starts to go at Drake's manhood. Like right here, when I see you stand by Sexy Red, I believe you see two bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. That's real competition. You might pop ass with him. Drake loves bringing up people's partners. He loves taking cheap shots at women. He loves punching down at women. And I feel like Kendrick Lamar is effectively calling him out on this. But the pinnacle of this diss track is right here, where Kendrick Lamar calls Drake a bad father. The second rapper to publicly criticize Drake's fathering skills in the last 6 years. He says this right here. I'm gonna read the whole thing out. Why would I call around trying to get dirt on niggas? You think all of my life is rap? That's ho shit. I got a son to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about that. Waking them up, know nothing about that. And tell them to pray, know nothing about that. And giving them tools to walk through life day by day, know nothing about that. Teaching them morals, integrity, discipline. Listen, man, you don't know nothing about that. Speaking the truth and consider what God's considering. You don't know nothing about that. Pusha T said that Drake was hiding a child, and Kendrick Lamar said that Drake is a bad father. This wasn't even aimed at me, and I felt offended. I don't even have a kid, I just have a cat, and it made me think that I wasn't feeding him enough wet food. And then Kendrick Lamar goes at his Canadianness, going into a Canadian accent saying, someone gon' bleed in your family, Crody. I'd be at New Ho King eating fried rice with the dip sauce and blammy, Crody. Overall, I feel like Kendrick Lamar, with the benefit of having gone last, has completely outclassed Drake on this song. Push Ups is a great track, don't get me wrong. It's a good song, like you could play that song in the club, but this can't be played in the club. It needs to be played in your headphones. It needs to be dissected. You need repeat listens. And honestly, yes, Kendrick Lamar's response was questionable because Drake is battle tested. We've seen him go to war. We've never seen Kendrick go to war because Kendrick is the boogeyman, right? No one wants to fight Omar. But now the boogeyman is out. And just from listening to this, just from listening to the way that Kendrick Lamar called into question Drake's character, it makes me wonder what could possibly even be coming next. I don't like Kendrick Lamar saying we don't want to hear you say nigga or saying that he is not a black man. I feel like that's stupid. But critiquing Drake's insecurity over his blackness is definitely fair game. I know, it's a nuance, it's a fine line, but it's there. Pay attention, you can hear it. Drop a W if you made it this far. Let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Jacques. Shout outs to the real ones. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.